Hello everyone, today I'm going to attempt a challenge and I'm going to try and build out these 4 items in less than 45 minutes. I have a timer on my phone that's showing me the current time that I have left, and you might as well check up on your top right here where it shows the time. Now I've just set up my workspace with these 3 files. These are just empty files so that I know what I'm working with, and this is a React application which I canvassed using npx create react app, and it's called Billionaires App. Now I'm going to use an API that I created. This is the API right here. If you need it, you can go to my GitHub repository. It's called Billionaires-API, and you can just grab everything, because we need this file that has the top 30 billionaires, this one that has the top 10 female billionaires, and this one that has the top 10 youngest billionaires, and these are their images right there. Those are their images. Okay, so to start it off, I'm just going to start with the theme toggler because I think it's the easiest and it's probably the coolest one out of all these. So I'm just going to open that with Visual Studio Code and we can begin. Okay, so I was starting my timer and we can begin. I'm going to create an index.html file inside the theme toggler folder like that. And then I'm going to create a style.css and I'm going to create a main.js like that. In my index.html, I'm going to create a boilerplate like that, link my style sheet like that, and I'm going to call this theme toggler. Now this won't be anything very advanced because I just want to have like a basic thing that you can just look through, and I hope this helps you really. Okay, so we can say inside here I want a div with a class of button like that, and then I can just place a button with a class of btn, and I'll say toggle theme like that. And then let me not forget to place my script main.js like that. I can open this with the live server, place it side by side. Okay, let me close this sidebar, and then you can begin to style it. So for the button, I'm going to say display flex align item center, justify content center with a mean height of 100 viewport height so that it comes to the center like that. And then we can say I want the body to have a background color of a navy blue, so let me just select it right around there like that. And then we're going to give the body another color of light. So this is somewhat like a condition. So if the body has a class of white, this is what this means. So if it has a class of light, then we're going to give it a background color of light. And let me just add a transition on the background color like that, and I want to transition by 0.4 seconds. Okay, and now you'll notice that if I come and add this class of light to the body, class equals light, what am I doing? Class equals light, you'll notice that it changes because it has the class of light, but we don't want to hard code it, so we're going to do that in the JavaScript. So I'm going to select my button and I'm going to say const button equals document dot query selector, and it has a class of .btn like that. I'm going to add an event listener on the button, and I'm listening for the click event. I'm going to create my inline arrow function like that, and I'm going to say once the button is clicked, I want the document.body, I want the body to change the color. So I'm just going to toggle the color really. So I'm going to add a class list.toggle method like that, and I want to toggle the light class. Let's see if that works. And that works. It looks very nice, and you can add to this if you want. You can add some styles to the button, but I'm not going to do that because that is the first project done. And I'm going to just move this, I can close this folder and then just move this inside, and we can begin working on our 404 page. Just the same deal. I'm going to create an index.html and a style.css like that, generate a boilerplate, call this 404 page, and you can already tell this is just going to be just styling it. Oops, I can't type today. Style.css. Okay, and then I'm going to just create a div inside here, or maybe not a div. Let me just create a main, and I'm going to say let me return an h1 saying 404 page not found, like that. And in order to just make this look a little more real, I'm going to add a header with the class of header, and I'm going to create a nav that has a UL with list items that are 3, each having anchor tags, like that. That's a shorthand property you can do in Emmet. So I'm going to say that one is home, this one is guides, and this one is about us, like that, so that we can have a kind of really use case feeling to it. We can open that with live server once again, and we get that. So we can begin to style it, and I'm going to say for the header, just display flex. Why doesn't this work on first try? Align item center and justify content to space between, like that. Oops, I don't want that. I want to display flex on the UL, so I want to just add UL right there, and that gives that. Let me remove the lists, the bullets. I'm going to say list style type to be none, like that, and I can target the header UL, LI, and A's. I want the text decoration to be none, and I want the color to be black, like so. Actually, you know what? Or maybe I'll add that once I see what the body looks like. So let me just add a background color of about, let me make it about an orange, maybe something like that, which means this will have to turn to white so that the contrast can be seen clearly. Let me just say color of white on this, like so, which will turn everything white. And do I have to specify this? I do. Okay, so we can begin to style our actual page not found header, and I'm going to say it's in a main class and it's called an h1, but I just want to test align this to the center first of all, and I want the font size to increase to 46 pixels. This looks bad on a smaller screen, but for our use case it's okay. Okay, page not found, and we can say at the bottom, let's just add a paragraph saying oops, looks like the page you were looking for does not exist, like that. Okay, I don't want this to happen like that, so I'm going to remove this from here, and I'm going to place it inside the h1, like that. Okay, didn't this work? Okay, it works. Okay, fine, it works. Okay, next thing I want to do is I just want to add a form here. Try to do it the way WordPress websites do it. They normally put a search option right here, so I'm going to say remove the action, place an input with a type of search, like that, with the name of search and ID of search, with the placeholder saying search for something, like that. Let me just add a label here saying, let me remove the for and just say search, like that, and that looks fine. Okay, so let me place this to the center as well. So I just want the main to display flex. Why does that keep happening? Align item center and justify content to the center with a minimum height of 100 viewport heights, and then let me say flex direction of column, like that, and then we'll say let me style the input a bit. So I'm going to go inside the main, inside the class of form. Is it form or form control? I don't remember the class. Form control, form-control, like that, and I want the input. Okay, I want the width to be 90 viewport widths. I want the padding to be 8 pixels, and I forgot the submit button. Let me add a border radius of 5 pixels. Border radius of 5 pixels. Let me remove the border none. That will make this disappear, like that. And then I can say, let me create my submit button. So button with the type of submit, saying submit like that. And then I'm going to go inside this, grab that, and then I'm going to say for the button, let it have a width of 90 viewport heights like the input, with a padding of 8 pixels as well, with a border radius of 5 pixels. I could have put it above with this because it's basically the same styling that this one has, but what's done is done, and it's not really a huge project. It's not really a big deal. Let me also remove the border radius, not border radius, but border of none, like that. Okay, so we have a working form. Not really working, because if I type something and submit, it will appear up here, as you can see. Okay, what else do we need to do? Let me just increase the font size of the label. Oops. And I'm going to go inside this, call it the label, and say the font size increase to 24 pixels with a margin bottom of 10 pixels. Oops, display block, like that. Okay, and I think that will be it for the 404 page. It's looking nice. It's looking nice even on bigger widths, really. So we can move on ahead and we can begin to work on our FAQs page. For the FAQs page, I'm going to do something very cheesy. I'm not going to use JavaScript. I'm going to show you how to do that using HTML with a tag that is not very well known but works really well. I'm going to create my two files, my index not C# but CSS, like that. Close this, generate a boilerplate as always, and we can call this FAQs page, like that. Link my style sheet, style.css, like that. Shouldn't have saved it, and I'm going to say div with a class of container, like that. Inside the div with the class of container, I want a div with a class of questions, like that. And then I'm going to use a details tag. Really, details. Does it Emmet recognize this, or is it's summary first? Oh my goodness. Let's just say details, like that. And then inside the details, I'm going to say summary, like that. Okay, let me remember the syntax for this. I've forgotten the syntax of how to use this. Just a moment. Okay, I have opened W3 schools, which clearly shows this much better. So I'm going to say just lorem ipsum, or let me say lorem 5 for the question, and then inside the summary, not inside but outside, I'm just going to say lorem 20, like that, which will generate this. And if I save that, open this with live server, you'll notice something, and close that for now. You'll notice this, and if I click it, you see it shows like the answer. If this was a question, for example, and this was your answer, and it looks very nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this details tag maybe 2 more times or 3 more times, like that. So we have a real FAQ page like so, and we can begin styling it in our CSS. I'm going to go inside the container. Inside the container, I'm going to say display flex, align item center, justify content center. You can notice this is a repeating something that we do often, so it's really nice. Oops, did I do something wrong? Okay, there you go. And then I'm going to say I want the body. Let me change the background color for the body. I want a dark navy blue once again. Oops, like that. Let me just select it. I like hexadecimal values, but you can use any value that you want. It's all about preference. And I can change this color to white, like so. I don't want it to do that though. Really. Let me just continue styling it for now. And I can say inside the, what was I styling inside? This is the container. I want the details tag so that I can push these apart. And I'm going to say inside the container, inside the details tag, I want a margin of 5 pixels on the top and bottom, 0 on the left and right. Let's do 10 so that they can be separated further. And I can say for the container, let me have a background color of white so that we can actually see this. And let me change this, or just comment that out like that. And I'll say, let me place a margin on the top, not there really, let me place it here, and I'm going to say margin on the top of 20 viewport heights and 0 0 like that. Let me just do 20 pixels on the left and right as well so that this can push inner a bit. Let me add a border radius of 5 pixels like that. Let me not do this, reload that. What's doing this? It's the justify content center. Okay, let me remove that and uncomment that once again, so I can remove this. And then I can say for the details, let me add a padding on the left of 40 pixels, move that inside a bit, looking better. And then I can say let me just have a cursor of pointer. I'm so used to shorthand properties, cursor of pointer like that, so that it actually looks like an FAQ page. And what else can I do? There's a way you can select these. But I've forgotten the property that does that, and I don't want to go on a googling spree right now. But this is probably as good as it's gonna get for now. Let me just add a title so that it can stand out a bit better. And I'm going to say, and it's saying frequently can spell asked questions. Oops. Let me flex direction to column like that. Okay, something's still wrong. Remove this padding. Really. Okay. Then let me place this outside the body. But that's still why is it still doing this? Why are you still doing this? It was the align item center that I should have removed, not the justify content center. Okay, that makes much more sense. And then I can just drop this down to there like so. And for the H3, I can target this because I want this to be the middle, so I can target the questions class. Grab this, target the questions class, and I want the H3 inside, and I'll just say text align center like that, and it looks already better. You can make this much better, of course. You can make this much better. Okay, I think that will be it for this, really. I think that will be it. We can close that. We can close live server, and now we're going to get into the Billionaires app. I think this will probably take me the longest, and this is the repository. If you need to get the files are listed right here. Get the images, the Billionaires JS, the female Billionaires JS, and the youngest Billionaires JS. Those are the 3 files we're going to need very much. So I'm just going to drag drop that. And then this is a React application, remember, so use npx create React app. And I'm going to go inside my source folder, remove everything that we don't need, remove that, and I'm going to create a components folder, components like that. And then I'm going to say, let me get my Billionaires API, let me drag my images into my public folder like that. Copy folder. Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay, and we can say what can we say? Go to my index.js and remove this before I forget, and remove that as well. And then you can say npm start, but not yet, because in my app.js I have files that I don't need, that I'm importing. I'm just going to say import react from react, like that. Remove everything inside this div and return a div saying billionaires, like that. Just a moment. Okay, let's continue, and you can say npm start. And while that starts, I'd like to start creating my components, and I'm going to say inside my components I want the billionaires, like that, billionaires.js. Okay, we can wait for that. And then I'm going to say I actually need my my data folder, so I'm going to create another folder inside my source folder called data, like that. And then I'm going to just grab these files, these 3 files, copy them inside there, like that. They didn't copy inside. Copy inside there, inside my data, like that. And then inside my app.js I'm just going to import billionaires. Wait a minute, is this a named export? I don't remember how I named this. Okay, billionaires, it's a named export. So billionaires with a small b from inside my data, like that, and it's called billionaires.js. And I'm just going to render it, call this billion. Wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm doing the wrong thing. This should be inside my billionaires.js. What am I doing? RAFCE, like that. And then I can say billionaires, and then I'm going to remove this so that I can set up my fragment. And then I'm just going to say this should be an h1, like that. And then we can import that file. So I'm going to import billionaires from components / billionaires, like that. And then you can render it and say billionaires, yes, which will be, oops, can't resolve this in components. Oh, I don't have this. Where's this file? This should be inside components. What did I do? Billionaires from data. So I've imported this wrongly, so it's inside my data and it's called billionaires, like that. So reload that and we get that correct. Okay, let's start working on this. So I'm going to set up my use state. So I'm going to import use state from React, like that. And I'm going to set up my state values and remove this. I'm going to set up my state values. So I'm going to say const people and set people equals to use state, and it's going to use the data from my billionaires folder, like that. And I really apologize if you can hear people outside. Those are children playing. And I'm going to say I want to map over this data that I have in my billionaires.js. If you look at it, this is the data, the ID, net worth, name, country, source, industry, image, and their age. So I'm just going to place that on that side so that I don't have to keep switching. So I'm going to say I want to map over the people. So people.map, and for every person I want to get a few things: the structure, its ID, net worth, name, country, source of wealth, industry, and okay, image, and their age, like that. This will be coming from person. Once we do that, we want to set up our return statement, and we'll return an article. Each article will have a key of ID, and I want to set up my div, like that, and I want to return a div with an h3 saying the name of the person, like that. And then once I get the name of the person, I want a small tag saying the country. Let me make this into a paragraph. country, like that. And of course there are a couple of things that will repeat, so let me just copy that down, change this to source, change this to industry, like that, and then change this, make this into a small, and say this will be their age, and then what are we missing? Their image. Okay, so the image I'm going to place inside another div so that you can style it, and this will be the image, like that. And in case the image fails to load, then I just want to display their name, like that. And we're missing the net worth. So for the net worth, I'm going to place it right above there, and I'm going to place an h2 saying net worth, like that, and make this into an h4. Okay, let's see if that works. Let's see. Okay, and there we go. We get Jeff Bezos and everyone else, all of the 30, like that. So we can begin to style this. And let me just place an h1 saying the top 30 let me say richest people in the world, like that. And in case you're wondering, this list, it was updated on March 2018, so this may not be the latest figures, excuse me for that. And then I'm going to say let me begin to style it in my index CSS. So in my index CSS, I'm just going to remove this, and I'm going to place my alt select. I'm going to say margin 0, padding of 0, and box sizing of border box. And I'm going to say remove this as well. And I want to target, what do I want to target? I want to target everything inside this. I should have put this inside a section, so I'm going to say section with a class of billionaires, like that. And I think I'm going to reuse this class because it's basically the same thing that we're going to be doing for the others. So inside my billionaires, I want to get my billionaires, like that, and I want to say display grid with grid template columns, because this is a smaller screen. I want just one fractional, like that. I want to add a grid gap of 40 pixels, and I want to target the article class that is inside this billionaires. So I'm going to say article. I want a background color of, let me do the opposite here. So this will be this will be the navy blue, like that. Let me add a padding of 20 pixels all round. And then I'm going to say on the body, because I want this to be slightly separated from the margin, I'm going to add a padding of 20 pixels on the body all round that can move in. And then I'm going to add a border radius of 10 pixels right here, so that can turn and change this text color to white, like that. Okay, we are progressing well enough. And then let me just let me see if I can target the h1 inside this. So I'm going to target the h1 so I can text align center, or that isn't in an h1, it's outside, of course. So let me just remove this from there, and I'm just going to go inside here and place an inline styling, like that. And I'm going to say text align, and remember now that we're doing inline style, this is JavaScript, so remember that. And we get that, and I'm going to say margin bottom of 20 pixels, place a comma there, save that, and that works. Okay, now what I want to do is inside the article I want to display flex, so that these two divs can display flex and the image can be placed on the right side. So I'm going to go inside my article. Oh, actually this is okay, so I can just say display flex here, and I'm going to say I want to target my image. Actually, let me do that for every image so that I don't have to keep restarting it. So for every image, I want the width to be 80 pixels and the height to be 80 pixels as well, and a border radius of 50%, like that. And I'm going to say, where was I here? I'm going to say justify content to space between. It goes to the end. Okay, Very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice. What else can we do? Actually, you know what, this might look better if the image came first, right? So let me just do that. Just going to grab this div and place it at the top like that. Okay, okay. Maybe I should have separated this data a bit better. So what I'm going to do is grab these and place them inside another div like that, which will make this happen, and it looks much better. So just in order to get some reference of what we're fetching, I'm just going to add age like that. I'm going to add industry. I'm going to add source of wealth like that, and of course these ones people will know what this is. Okay. What else can we do? I just want to add a bit of margin to each of these, so I'm going to give these two divs a class of data like that. Actually, this is class name because we are now inside JSX. Change that, copy that, paste it there, and I want to go inside my article class, and I want the data. Oops, actually, did I do that correctly? I'm going to target the H4, the H2, and the paragraph. Okay, the H4, H2, and the paragraph. Let me do H4 like that, and just place a comma, copy this down. This should be H2, copy that down one more time, and this should be paragraph, and I'm just going to say margin of 5 pixels at the top and bottom, 0 on the left and right, so that they separate just a bit. Let me say 10 pixels, and we get that. And I just want the image to move down a bit, so I'm going to say align at the center like so, and it looks very nice. It looks very nice. These are the top 30 richest people in the world currently, or at least I think so. I don't know whether the list has been updated. And of course you can notice that with longer names this happens, it moves closer. You can try to fix that. I'm not going to deal with that now because I have 10 minutes left. Okay, so these are the top 30 richest people. Now I just want to add on to this. I want to add the top 10 youngest female and the top 10 youngest people actually. Okay, so I'm going to just, oops, shouldn't have closed that. Just close this billionaires.js, and I'm just going to do the same for these, the female and the youngest billionaires. So inside my components folder, I'm going to create a new file called females, or let me say female billionaires.js like that, and I'm going to probably just copy everything inside here and paste it in. Oops, like that. And I'm going to say because the data is almost the same, let me just check to confirm. We have a story now, but we don't have the age anymore. We don't have the age anymore, so the age is the only thing that's missing. I hope so. I really hope so. So I'm going to change this to the top 10 richest women in the world like that. And I'm going to change this because we are now currently exporting female billionaires like that. So I'm just going to grab that, paste it inside there, and paste that there, and paste that there, and I'm going to change this to female billionaires component like that, and at the bottom as well, female billionaires like that. Okay, now what else do we need to do? We need to remove this age and add the story, and then we're going to where was the age? The age was this right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just add another div. Oops, that will destroy my styling. We might have to do this again, but for now I'm just going to place a paragraph saying story like that, and let's save that. Let's import it in our app.js. So copy that down and change this to female billionaires, like that. Copy that and just paste it down like that, and let's see if that works. Let's see if that works. Top 10 richest women in the world, like that. And of course we need to change up our styling. Okay, we need to change up our styling because I want this story to now appear on the bottom. So what I'm going to do, what am I going to do? Let me just refactor everything inside here. Let me just refactor. I'm going to return a div, and I'm going to say I want first the image. Okay, this will be coming from image. The alt will be the name, like that. And then for the second one, actually no, because I want the image and every other thing to be at the top, and then the story to be at the bottom. Oops. Div like that, set a paragraph and set that to story, like that. Let me set an h4 for the name, and an h2 for an h2 to say what? An h2 to say their net worth, like that. And let's say a paragraph for their country, like that. Copy that down, and this will be source, and this will be industry, like that. This should have an equal sign. Okay. Now one thing that you'll notice is that this is using the same class of the billionaires. So let me just add another class of female dash billionaires, like that. Copy that, then go to my, save it of course, go to my style CSS, not style but my index CSS, paste that there, and I'm going to say flex direction to be column. Will that work? Wait a minute, where is this billionaires class? The billionaires is inside the article. Okay, it's inside the article, so I need to go inside the article right there, change that, and voila, that looks much better. And I just want to align this as flex. I'm going to go inside this div and give this a class of avatar, like that, so we can style it. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to say for the avatar class I want to display flex as well. And then this happens, I'm going to align item center, and I'm going to say justify content space between. Will that really separate them? No, it doesn't. Let me just add a margin on the bottom of 30 pixels so that it pushes the story down. Margin bottom, like that. Okay, that looks much better. I don't know why this image isn't showing, but I'm not going to deal with it right now. Okay, and I'm going to say what did I want to do? Let me change this to h5s. Too small. h4s. Let me go inside the avatar class and target the h4s. Okay, so I'm going to go inside this class, going to target the h4s, and I'm going to say margin of 0 on the top and bottom and 5 pixels on the left and right. That separates them. And I'm going to do the same for the paragraph. So just going to copy that, paste that down, and do that for the paragraph, and this happens. So they're a little bit separated, and it looks much better. Okay, it looks much better. And we're going to do that the same thing now for the youngest billionaires. So youngest billionaires, going to copy that, going to go inside my components folder, going to create a new file called youngest billionaires.js. I'm going to RAFCE, and I'm going to say import youngest billionaires from, it's coming from data and it's called youngest billionaires, like that. I'm going to copy all of this, actually all of this, and I'm going to go up to here like that. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to just paste it in, and it's probably going to be the same thing because this also has, where's my data? Yes, there's my data. It also has the story and it has basically everything is the same right here. So if I'm to save that, and I'll remember to import it in my app.js, so I'm going to grab that. I'm going to say youngest billionaires like that, copy that down, change this to youngest with a U like that, and let's see. Oops, module not found. Youngest, did I spell that correct? Billionaires, did I spell that correctly? This was not found. Okay, oops, I know what I did wrong. I didn't set up my state values. So const people and set people equals to use state, and I'm going to use my youngest billionaires data like that. Save that. Oops. This data doesn't exist. What? Oh, that's why it's not inside here. Really? And I've not defined use state, so let me just import that. Use state like so, and we have our youngest richest women there, and this should be top 10 richest top 10 youngest richest people in the world. I've forgotten the order of adjectives, but this works, so it's fine. And just to add, I have a minute 10 remaining, so let me just add some media queries for a minimum width of 768 pixels, and I'm going to say grab my billionaires, and I'm going to say grid template columns to repeat 2 times and 1 fractional each. Let's see that. That looks nice, and I'm going to copy this down and say for 992 pixels I want this to repeat 3 times, like so. Oops, like so. See, that is the beauty of reusable classes. So everyone, you should always reuse your classes. It really helps you like that. And I think I'm just going to leave it at that. With 22 seconds left, I have completed the challenge successfully, and I hope you learned something new, and I really enjoyed doing that. And please like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe. You can hear the giddiness in my voice. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.